Lost Grimoires is back with more magical threats, troubled romances, and, in what I hope will become the series' trademark feature, a complete lack of Lost Grimoires. Taking on the role of another alchemist, Shard of Mystery starts in the aftermath of the failure of an evil queen to conquer the world, then jumps the action forward more than a decade, making the main game act as the sequel to a story that we only get the briefly sketched-in version of. It's a bold narrative move and one that pays off, since the player can take a few minutes to get to know the main characters before launching into the biggest threat that they've ever faced. Now, the hidden object criteria. Not in the least. The action moves from castles to caves, with stops in a dense forest and a crumbling, crystal-covered town in between. All the screens fit logically within the world and feature almost no design cheating of any kind. A few items seem to be a little wonkily sized, but that's essentially it. It's almost entirely 12:1 screens this time. Plenty of lists, a few silhouettes, and just one construction puzzle right at the end, reminding players just how good hidden object scenes can be when developers really put the work in. While I've had a long history of complaining about silhouette puzzles in the past, these ones are actually fairly well bit. I was only confused by what I was supposed to be looking for a few times, and one puzzle which had me tracking down birds based on their profile was one of the best silhouette screens I've ever encountered. Extremely well. This is a truly casual experience, with puzzles designed more to delight the player than to tax their skills. The big change from the last game in the series is a delightful new minigame brought in to represent alchemy. Honestly, this system works so well that I've been forced to eat my words a little when it comes to the inclusion of Match 3 games inside hidden object games. It isn't a Match 3 strictly speaking, but rather a midpoint between that and Collapse, creating an experience more strategic than luck-based, and surprisingly rewarding in its execution. Another high point are a series of tracking puzzles, in which the player must follow someone through a number of rooms, participating in a series of minigames representing each step of the journey. These kind of chain puzzles do a great job of driving the plot forward while pulling players in, causing the game's 2-hour running time to feel like it's just flying by. Every character in the game correctly pronounces the villain's name as
Drosera,
other than the main character, who exclusively says
Drosera.
There isn't one, so no. Lost Grimoires 2 Shard of Mystery is a solid second outing for the series. Last time around I suggested that this series was basically just Grim Legends light, but it's really developing its own voice as a series of fast-paced fantasy thrillers that move characters through fantastic locations and tightly plotted set pieces. The art is great, the story's solid, and the puzzles accessible to all, making this a truly stellar casual experience. I look forward to whatever developers' Worldloom games have in store for us next in the series, especially considering that this game ends with a fairly obvious sequel hook. This review is based on a copy of the game provided by the publisher. If you'd like to watch the playthrough that led to this review, click on the rectangle that allows you to do that. You can find other hidden object game reviews elsewhere on this playlist. Au revoir.